Two teams will be taking the field this Saturday when UTEP clashes with the Texas Longhorns, but it's the story of two coaches on opposite sidelines. ABC 7's Nate Ryan explains how their friendship will live on longer than 4 quarters of football.
Now, Tom Herman is a college football giant. He's the highest paid coach in the Big 12, and his just under $7 million annual salary outweighs that of the entire UTEP coaching staff. But the Texas head man says he may not have achieved all that recognition if not for an assistant on the UTEP sidelines. That's UTEP running backs coach Barrick Nealy, who 15 years ago was the star quarterback for Texas State, receiving play calls from a young offensive coordinator named Tom Herman. In 2005, Herman's offense ranked 8th in Division I AA, with Nealy a finalist for Player of the Year. But as Herman prepares to face Nealy as an opposing coach this Saturday, he had almighty praise for his old quarterback.
Barrick made my career. I mean, I'm not ever going to deny that. This was a young man that had star potential written all over him, and it was kind of the right place at the right time for both of us.
I'm gonna be honest with you, I had never really heard him say that I made his career. I think that was quite humbling. And
as Nealy begins a coaching career of his own with UTEP, he passes on from Herman a golden principle to his players.
But for a long time, I've always heard coaches say, you know, I'm not your friend, I'm your coach. I think Tom was really the first coach that did it backwards. He made sure I knew like he was my friend first.
It's a foundation evident in the relationship between the two. Lifelong friends on the field and off.
I'm forever indebted to him, his wife Tiffany, his children. He has been a godsend in our lives, the Herman family lives.
Back at UTEP, Nealy says the same of his old play caller, but in that Herman's greatest coaching act came after Texas State. Several years ago, with Nealy's life at a crossroads, his wife reached out to Herman for help.
I was having a hard time just figuring things out. Just wasn't a lot of opportunities out there. I've always been a good kid, a good person, and just didn't know what I wanted to do with my life and my career. And, you know, I remember laying in bed, man, in my bedroom, the lights off, just in a dark room. I think I was in bed for almost a week, just depressed. And I remember Tom being the first person that she called. And, you know, didn't want to talk. She threw the phone at me like, you need to get on the phone. And, you know, it's one of those, hey, coach. And then right away it was, you know, get your ass up out of bed and boom, 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 just kind of doing what he does. And he really motivated me. And all of a sudden things started falling in place and boom, you know, things started happening. You know, I went back and finished school, got my degree, and this thing just kind of started aligning. And then all of a sudden, I get a call from Dana. So I credited a lot of that to Tom.
Two coaches, one at the top, one just getting started. But for Tom Herman and Barrick Nealy, two friends, they're one and the same. Nate Ryan, ABC 7.
And as many of you know, I came here from Ohio, where I covered Ohio State for football for a couple of years. Tom Herman, offensive coordinator at the time there. The players there are saying a lot of the same things that you just heard from Coach Nealy as well. So what Coach Nealy is saying has been consistent through much of Tom Herman's career. It'll be neat to see them reunite on the field on Saturday. Stephanie.
What an incredible story. All right, then.